So as you can see after the game, Caitlin Clark and Sophie are both running up to the referee here. They are both so upset, and the referee is just walking away from them. He won't even look at them in the face. He keeps turning, like Sophie even went up at one point and is like tapping on his arm. He would not even look at them.
The Indiana Fever's most anticipated game of the season, a sold-out showdown against the defending champion New York Liberty, was supposed to be a celebration of how far the WNBA has come. With Caitlin Clark leading the charge and playoff, energy buzzing through the arena, all eyes were on what should have been a marquee moment for the league. Instead, it devolved into a controversial officiating disaster. Clark was visibly hacked multiple times with no whistle. Lexi Hull was hit with a phantom foul, and the referees seemed more interested in controlling the outcome than the game itself. Fans weren't just confused. They were outraged. Even head coach Stephanie White publicly voiced her frustration, and Clark didn't mince words post-game either. This wasn't an isolated incident. It was the boiling point of a long-standing issue. The controversy reached a historic peak when WNBA Commissioner Kathy Engelbert was suspended after internal investigations revealed she had repeatedly failed to address officiating complaints from players, coaches, and fans. Rumors now suggest that owners and league execs had been quietly pushing for her ousting, seeing her as a liability to the league's rapidly growing image. What was once seen as a problem with referees has become a full-blown crisis of leadership. If the WNBA doesn't get this under control fast, it risks alienating the very fan base it's worked so hard to build.
Done a great job of rigging this. They've done a great job of rigging this league. The league, they're not even being subtle. They're not even being subtle. Oh my God, this is embarrassing. This is embarrassing.
Let's not sugarcoat it. People are straight up calling the WNBA rigged, and they're not whispering it either. From the second the Indiana Fever hit the hardwood, something felt off. This wasn't just another regular season matchup. It had the intensity and electricity of a playoff game. The crowd in Indianapolis was electric, the arena was packed, and the energy was off the charts. The Fever showed up ready to battle, but it felt like the refs showed up with a different agenda. Caitlin Clark got hacked all night with 0 calls, while Lexi Hull played picture-perfect defense, only to be slapped with a phantom foul that had fans, and even commentators, asking what game the officials were watching. It didn't feel like missed calls, it felt like sabotage.
The fact that this referee wouldn't even acknowledge the players was kind of crazy to me. Like when I saw that, I said, this is really strange because the referee should have enough confidence in the calls that they made to at least discuss. You should be able to at least discuss something.
Meanwhile, the Liberty were living at the free throw line like it was their second home. And let's be real, this is starting to look like a pattern, not some one-off bad night. So let me ask you, if you were watching this live, did it feel fair? Because to a lot of fans, it didn't. And this didn't just start last night. Since the moment Caitlin Clark stepped into the league, the physicality against her has been next level. Players bumping her, grabbing her, even taking cheap shots off the ball while the officials looked the other way. Remember Kennedy Carter's off-ball hit? That wasn't just dirty. It was reckless and dangerous. And what did the refs do? Called it a common foul, not a flagrant, not a technical, just moved on like nothing happened. And it's not just about Clark. The entire Indiana Fever squad has been on the wrong end of call after call, night after night. This isn't bad luck. This is a credibility crisis.
I can't believe what I'm about to say. The Indiana Fever, with the strongest, loudest, most intimidating home court advantage in all the WNBA, just got robbed at home. I saw it with my own 2 eyes live on CBS.
Want the numbers? Here you go. The Indiana Fever are sitting at a minus 31-1 in free throw differential this season. That's not a typo. That's a crisis. Now let's go back to that Liberty game. On paper, it had all the makings of an instant classic. Caitlin Clark was throwing dimes to Aaliyah Boston. Lexi Hull was locking in defensively. Momentum was swinging back and forth, and the crowd was living and dying with every play. But instead of a highlight reel showdown, we got a ref show. The Liberty were gifted 32 EA free throw attempts. The Fever, just 15. That's more than double. In a close game, that's not just a stat. That's a swing big enough to decide the outcome. And it wasn't just the quantity, it was the quality of the calls. Soft touch fouls sent New York to the line while blatant body checks against the Fever went ignored. It felt like two teams playing under two completely different rule books. Caitlin Clark was getting shoved off her spots all night. And on the final possession, she was straight up mauled. Not once, not twice, but 4 separate fouls, and the whistle never came. Can you imagine that happening to LeBron or Steph with the game on the line? Exactly.
That it doesn't go both ways, or it hasn't gone both ways. But we also can't allow that to consume us, right? Like, we've got to be able to play through that. We've got to be able to control the things that we can control. I felt like at times our late game execution was good, and I consider most of the latter half of the fourth quarter because it was a tight ball game.
That brings us to Coach Stephanie White, who didn't bite her tongue in the post-game press conference. She came out swinging. A -31 free throw discrepancy, and we're attacking the rim, she said. The disrespect has been unbelievable. That wasn't just frustration. That was full-blown fury, and it's been simmering for weeks. But White's message wasn't just aimed at the officials. It was for her players. She was letting them know loud and clear. I see what's happening, and I've got your back. For a young team like the Fever, still figuring out who they are, that kind of leadership is everything. Now let's talk about Caitlin Clark. She didn't torch the refs with words, but her body language said it all. Wide-eyed, disbelief, tight-lipped frustration, the kind of exhausted tone that speaks louder than any headline. Aaliyah Boston? She went with the classic no comment. But when you've been watching the games, you know exactly what that silence means. And just when you thought things couldn't get crazier, boom, the WNBA drops a bombshell. Commissioner Kathy Engelbert has been suspended. That's right, the league's top executive is out. Why? Internal reports say she ignored months of growing complaints about officiating. Players were done, coaches were fuming, fans had reached a boiling point. And behind the scenes, rumors are swirling that some team owners had already been quietly pushing for her removal. Once high-profile stars like Caitlin started speaking up publicly, the pressure became impossible to ignore. Some say Engelbert was the scapegoat. Others say it was long overdue. Either way, this is the biggest shakeup in league history. And now, the WNBA is at a crossroads. With surging attendance, record-breaking ratings, and a wave of new fans, thanks in no small part to Caitlin Clark, the league has more eyes on it than ever before. The question is, will it rise to the